if I've understood correctly, is preparing for competition. So we'll all be listening very carefully, and then we'll all be putting in our notes and our comments in a special form that you should all have received. So we'll have a little bit longer for evaluations or personal evaluations than usual. And first, could we have Pedro's evaluator, Andrew, come and explain the objectives of the speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Anissa. Merci. On est en français ce soir, on est en langue française. Du coup, je vais parler français. Alors, Pedro va nous présenter un discours qui est un discours de concours. Il va être le représentant pour un club en Espagne. Et du coup, nous, on va écouter très, très attentivement. Et il va nous présenter un discours de 5 à 7 minutes. Et c'est en langue anglaise, je crois bien. Et c'est les 4 suggestions simples. Merci.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Let's all bring our hands together virtually for Pedro. Pedro, you have the floor.
There I was with a big smile on my face, arms out, ready to receive the 4 simple suggestions. 4 simple suggestions that I had been chosen to take out into the world to deal with COVID-19. As I stepped forward, I fell. And as I picked myself up, I found myself in an old shop. I rubbed my eyes and I found myself in a cafe. I rubbed my eyes again and I found myself at home. At that moment, and I don't know how or why, it dawned on me that I had been living in a fantasy world, one which I had created to help me deal with the mental pressure that COVID-19 was having on my family and me. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, what about you? How are you coping with COVID-19? Well, I've thought about these 4 simple suggestions. They'd come from my imagination, but worth another look perhaps? Well, in my imagination, I heard these voices speaking to me, giving me advice in the form of 4 simple suggestions. I'm not sure whether it was 1 or 4 voices speaking to me. I don't know. All I know is that one voice spoke and said, we know you've been out of work, unemployed for some time, and this is not good. You are not alone. Know you this. There will be a future and you have to be prepared. You must reskill, learn new things, go back to study, for this is the only way. A second voice then spoke. 4 walls, trapped at home inside 4 walls. We know this is hard on your mental health. There may be many solutions, but it starts with communication. You must get out of your head. You must reach out and speak with your friends and family. You must seek professional help when required. And you must ask your friends what you can do to help them. Improve your communications, but this is the only way. A third voice then spoke. Sat down, long periods, inactive. A sure way to let COVID beat you. But you must fight back. You must fight against inertia. Strengthen yourself. Move. If you can walk, walk. If you can run, run. If you can stretch, stretch, but do something. Whatever you can, do. Fight inertia. Movement is the key, for this is the only way. A fourth and final voice then spoke. Scientists around the world are working to beat COVID. Though sometimes it's hard, we must all stick together. Follow the rules, wear a mask, stay at home, wash your hands, get vaccinated when it becomes available. We can beat this together. Follow the advice, for this is the only way. When I thought about these 4 simple suggestions, was I actually following them? No, I wasn't. I was only following the scientists' advice, none of the others. So what about you, fellow Toastmasters? I ask again, how are you coping with COVID-19? Are you doing any better than me? Well, I thought I'd give these other simple suggestions a try and see where it took me. Well, the first of these 4 simple suggestions, back to study. I was unemployed. I didn't know what to do. Then I thought, I work in IT. Why not upskill in AWS, which is Amazon Web Services? It's a difficult certification program, but I thought, well, why not? So I made a commitment that I would study between 30 minutes to an hour per day for as long as it took. For the second simple suggestion, improve communications, I realized that I hadn't been speaking with my friends and family as often as I should. So I set myself another goal that I would speak with a member of my family or friends at least once a week. And again, just to check to see how I was doing. And for the third simple suggestion, movement, well, I set myself a goal that I was going to walk outdoors every day for at least 10 minutes to 1 hour. And again, to test the difference. And for the final one, I was just going to carry on following the scientists' advice. So how did I do? Well, for the first simple suggestion, back to study, well, I completed the AWS certification in just over 2 months, working with a buddy. Just having a purpose kept me going. And not only did I pass, but I landed a new job. Double result. For the second simple suggestion, improve communications. I now regularly speak with members of my friends and family at least once a week, and this has had a massive positive impact on my mental health. I feel much more relaxed and a lot happier. Listen, it's good to talk. For the third simple suggestion, I walk every day and I write down my progress and I feel so much better. I can move, I can breathe fresh air. It's frightening just how quickly I became so unfit. And as for the fourth simple suggestion, well, I still follow the scientists' advice. I wear a mask and I have recently just had my first vaccination. What about you, fellow Toastmasters? Perhaps you're already doing these 4 simple suggestions. Maybe not. How about you giving them a go? The first one is back to study. Maybe you're not unemployed, but maybe you'd like to learn something new. Having a purpose really helps. Improving your communication, number 2. Well, I'm sure that there are friends and family that you haven't called in a while, and I'm sure they would love to hear from you. Give them a call. Third, movement is the key. Any exercise, get out, exercise, just do it. And whilst it might be hard, follow the scientists' advice. Whilst these 4 simple suggestions came from my imagination, their impact has been very real and very positive on my mental and physical health. And maybe, just maybe, they might do the same for you too. Give them a try and see for yourself. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Pedro, for that lovely speech. We're going to take 3 minutes to evaluate Pedro's speech. If Patrick, would you be able to